everybody, could you use some good news? Well, let's start with this. Scientists have confirmed that bones discovered beneath a parking lot in Leicester in the East Midlands of England are in fact the remains of King Richard III. Richard III was killed in 1485 during the Battle of Bosworth Field, the decisive battle of the War of the Roses, and buried at Greyfriars Church in Leicester. But the church was destroyed some 50 years later during King Henry VIII's dissolution of the monasteries. The site was sold off and rebuilt, and the location of Richard III's grave was forgotten for centuries. In September, archaeologists hunting for the former Greyfriars site discovered a skeleton beneath a parking lot in Leicester and turned it over to the University of Leicester. Yesterday, Dr. Joe Appleby, who led the team that analyzed the skeleton, announced that these were, in fact, the bones of Richard III, the last English monarch to die in battle. How about this one? After scouring the human genome for 3 years, researchers have identified mutations which lead to relapses of acute lymphoblastic leukemia, the most common form of childhood cancer. Though new and better treatments for ALL are being developed all the time, I've mentioned some of them previously in this series, patients who relapse following chemotherapy or bone marrow transplants still face grim odds of survival. During this 3-year study, researchers at the NYU Cancer Institute and 4 other research centers throughout the U.S. identified 20 mutations that affect relapse or make cancer cells more resistant to treatment. Researchers hope that identifying these mutations will allow doctors to better anticipate which patients will experience a relapse and plan their treatments accordingly, and hopefully in the future to inhibit the genes that bear these mutations and prevent relapses from occurring in the first place. Finally, on Friday, President Obama presented 12 people with the National Medal of Science and 10 more people with the National Medal of Technology and Innovation. The science medalists included Alan Bard, who helped develop the scanning electrochemical microscope, Sandra Faber, an astronomer who helped discover the mysterious Great Attractor, and Leroy Hood, who invented the automated DNA sequencer and made the mapping of the human genome possible. The technology and innovation medalists included George Carruthers, who helped to build the spectrograph placed on the moon by the Apollo 16 astronauts, and Golem Payman, who invented LASIK surgery. Scientists confirmed the discovery of the remains of Richard III. Researchers identify mutations that can make one of the deadliest cancers even deadlier, and President Obama honors some of the top scientists and innovators in the U.S. And, on a personal note, fucking football season is over! As my friend Jason Jarman said after the Super Bowl, the best 6 months of the year start right now. Don't they? And that's the good news. Come on.